And Jordan, we're adjusting to that new routine here in the studio while other people are adjusting getting back into the office.
Yeah, and actually I spoke with professional organizer and productivity coach Barbara Trapp for tips on how to make that transition seamless.
I know a lot of people need to know, they might have forgotten, how did we live before this, right? I mean, it's been so long. And so what are some ways people can be productive while they're making that transition?
Sure. I think there are really three things to consider. One of them is to assess your habits, because I think we've all maybe gotten some new habits. Maybe some are good, some are bad over the past year. So take a look at maybe there's some bad habits that you've developed and you need to replace with better ones. On the other hand, maybe you have some new good habits that you want to keep. Maybe you're reading more, maybe you're drinking more water, maybe you're exercising more. So figuring out how to fit that in your new schedule where you're going to be away from home and you need to adjust for commuting time.
I will mention too, though, that I've noticed since going back into the office, I'm not eating as much. When I was at home, I had snacks galore. And so obviously that's not healthy. You got to eat regularly. And so I need to kind of incorporate that. So any other tips in terms of that?
Well, absolutely. Maybe packing some healthier ones for one, and you might have to, go shopping for a few new clothes while you transition, because some people have gained the COVID-15. I think that's what I've heard, or the pandemic 15, whatever. So we have some adjustments to make. And one of those also might be laying out clothes the night before and, getting ready for the day, because, we didn't have to do that so much. 2 minutes and we were dressed, but now we need to leave more time and prepare for that. And another one of these is looking at those routines. And oftentimes routines are just habits that are kind of stacked together. So if you've developed a great morning routine that you want to maintain, or maybe you want to create a more consistent one that works with activities that take you away from home, again, you have to consider the time and maybe kind of rethink your weekly schedule to allow for those things. So, and if you haven't had a routine before, this is a really good time to start getting a morning and an evening routine. When you take supplements, if you take those, exercise, meditation, if you do any of those great things, those are, that's a good thing. But you might have to refigure out where you're going to do that and when.
I like how you said this is a good time to do that, because it's kind of like we're starting from a clean slate. So if you didn't have anything that you did before, now it's kind of exciting. We have a new opportunity.
Yeah, clean slate. I love that. I think everybody has a clean slate. We're starting over.
Okay, so then you also want us to review and adjust our schedule, not just our routines.
Absolutely, because now we have to look at things like, okay, how much time do I need to get wherever I'm going? Not just work, but getting out and seeing friends more and just getting out in the world again.
Yeah.
And I always say, let's look at our sleep first. So are you getting enough? Some people have gotten more this past year. Some people have gotten less from stress and anxiety. It's a really good time to look at that and think, okay, what hours do I need to be, optimal the next day? And also, there's some of us, who don't have families at home. And when we're working from home, especially with entrepreneurs, it's really hard to figure out when to stop work.
I had that problem as well.
Yes, because everything's so close by. So I think really creating an ideal schedule for yourself, an ideal weekly schedule, and then blocking out times in color for things like, exercise or getting out and about, seeing friends, just free time in general. And then when you're doing the other work thing, because if you don't, you just end up doing it all sorts of times during the day and there are no boundaries.
Yeah, you got to have your work time, but then create that boundary so that you can also have time to play. And now that we can be face to face with our friends and family and people are feeling more comfortable, we definitely need to schedule that in. So any last minute tips for us that we didn't talk about?
I think, just to know that, doing these things, setting these schedules and habits and routines in place, it's not restrictive. It's actually going to get you more time. It helps you, take the best, advantage of the time that you have so we don't waste it, because time is precious.
And we won't get it back. That's true.
Right.
So where can people get more information?
Sure. You can go to my website at zenyourden.com and reach out to me from there.
And you also have a freebie for our viewers.
I do. We didn't really talk about home organizing or office organizing, but I do have a freebie for our listeners, and that is it's 9 tips for decluttering any room. And to get that, you just go to zenyourden.com/9, the number 9, tips.
Okay, I mean, we definitely need to Zen our Den, get the work stuff off the table, you know, if you can, because some people are still working from home, but I know that will just help people so much. So thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
If you'd like to see this segment again or get more information, go to firstcoastliving.net.